Most people are rubbing a petroleum-contaminated chemical cocktail onto their liver every night thinking it's healing them. They think castor oil is just another internet wellness trend. A sticky little oil your grandmother used once that somehow came back through TikTok. But that is not what this really is, because inside this thick golden liquid is a biological weapon your body recognizes immediately, not as food, not as skincare, but as a signal. And when that signal touches your skin before sleep, strange things start happening. People wake up less bloated, their joints hurt less, their stomach suddenly works again, their skin looks tighter. Some even say they sleep deeper than they have in years. And no, this is not because castor oil is magic. It's because your body runs an entire night shift while you sleep. Your brain washes itself. Your liver dumps waste. Your nervous system switches repair modes. Your immune system goes hunting. Sleep is not passive. It is a biological cleaning cycle, and castor oil seems to hijack parts of that system. Tonight we are decoding the real science behind castor oil before bed. Not internet myths, not beauty influencer nonsense. We are talking about 10 specific biological effects and why the wrong bottle could actually poison the exact organs you are trying to heal. Because this story gets darker the deeper you go. The first effect is the one nobody expects: sleep itself. Insomnia is usually treated like a brain problem, but sometimes the problem is not in your mind, it is in your nervous system. Your body stays stuck in survival mode. Cortisol stays elevated. The vagus nerve stays irritated. The system never fully powers down. And castor oil appears to push the nervous system toward parasympathetic dominance. That is the rest and repair mode. Some people place a few drops around the eyelids. Others use it on the abdomen, or even inside the belly button area. And over time, they notice something strange. Their body stops fighting sleep, because inflammation and stress chemistry are connected. Lower inflammation often means lower cortisol. Lower cortisol allows melatonin to rise naturally. You stop feeling wired at midnight. Your nervous system finally stops acting like there is danger in the room. And once sleep improves, everything else changes faster. Skin, hormones, fat loss, recovery. Second, which brings us to the face. Most skincare products sit on top of the skin like paint on a wall. Castor oil behaves like a natural Botox. It penetrates deeper because of its fatty acid structure. And unlike many thick oils, it acts as a humectant, helping draw moisture into the skin. But the real story is underneath the surface. Inflammation and oxidative stress slowly damage collagen and elastin fibers. That is what creates sagging and wrinkles over time. Castor oil contains ricinoleic acid, which appears to help calm inflammatory pathways while supporting hydration inside the skin barrier itself. So instead of temporarily coating dry skin, it helps create an environment where the skin can hold moisture again. People wake up looking less puffy, less dull, less exhausted. Not because it erased aging overnight, but because the skin finally stopped behaving like dehydrated paper. Third, let's continue with the stomach. You eat healthy. You cut calories. Maybe you even fast. And yet, your abdomen still feels swollen, heavy, inflated by the evening. That is not always fat. Sometimes your digestive system is moving like a traffic jam at midnight. Food sits, gas ferments, waste backs up inside the intestines. And castor oil appears to activate something called EP3 receptors. These receptors influence smooth muscle contractions inside the gut, meaning the intestines start moving again. Not violently, not like a harsh chemical laxative, more like somebody finally unclogged the drain. When people apply a warm castor oil pack over the abdomen before sleep, many wake up flatter by morning because the body finally cleared the backlog sitting inside the digestive tract. You are not losing weight overnight. You are removing stagnation. And stagnation is one of the hidden themes behind almost every symptom in the body. Fourth, we need to talk about the colon because people hate this topic, but your body does not care if it is glamorous. If waste stays trapped inside you too long, your entire system feels it. Brain fog, pressure, bloating, fatigue. Your gut is not just a digestion tube. It is one of the largest communication centers in the human body. And topical castor oil appears capable of stimulating intestinal movement through the skin itself. That is why castor oil packs over the lower abdomen have been used for constipation for generations. Not because people were stupid, but because they observed biology long before modern medicine explained it. And when the gut finally empties properly, many people describe a bizarre mental clarity afterward, because inflammation in the gut affects the brain more than most people realize, which leads to benefit number 5, the lymphatic system. This may be the most ignored system in modern health. Your blood has a pump. Your lymphatic system does not. It depends on breathing, movement, muscle contractions, circulation. But modern humans sit for hours. We barely move. We sleep stressed. And slowly the body starts acting like a city where the garbage trucks stopped running. Fluid pools, inflammation rises, the immune system gets sluggish. Now, here's where it gets interesting. There are studies showing castor oil packs increased lymphocyte activity compared to placebo packs. Lymphocytes are immune cells, your internal defense force, meaning castor oil may stimulate immune and lymphatic activity while your body is already entering repair mode during sleep. Think about that. Your body already cleans itself most aggressively at night, and now you place a biological stimulus directly over the abdomen and liver before bed. That is why some people wake up feeling lighter, clearer, less inflamed. Not because toxins magically disappeared, but because the drainage systems finally started moving again. 6th, let's talk about pain. Joint pain is often treated like wear and tear, but inflamed joints are biological war zones. The tissue swells, circulation drops, pain signals increase, and castor oil appears to influence inflammatory signaling while increasing local blood flow to the area. Some compare the sensation to a heating cream without the aggressive burning. When massaged into painful knees, backs, shoulders, or wrists before sleep, circulation improves while inflammation gradually calms down. One study even looked at its effects in knee osteoarthritis. And this matters because joints do not heal efficiently when circulation is poor. A starving joint cannot repair itself. The body needs movement, warmth, blood flow, nutrients. Castor oil may help reopen some of those pathways. 7, here comes the benefit social media made famous: hair growth. But the real mechanism is much more interesting than it moisturizes the scalp. Hair follicles are controlled by chemical messengers. One of them is prostaglandin D2. High levels of this compound are linked to hair thinning and follicle suppression. Ricinoleic acid may help inhibit that pathway while improving blood circulation to the scalp, meaning you are not just coating dead hair strands. You are changing the environment around the follicle itself. Eyebrows, eyelashes, edges, receding hairlines. The scalp behaves like soil, and healthy follicles cannot grow in suffocated tissue with poor circulation. Number 8, for scars and stretch marks. Scar tissue is basically emergency tissue, fast, messy, disorganized. The body closes damage quickly, but the repair job is often rough. Castor oil penetrates deeply enough to soften fibrotic tissue over time, not instantly. This is not Photoshop in a bottle, but consistent application may help loosen hardened connective tissue while supporting healthier skin regeneration. That is why many people use it on surgical scars, stretch marks, acne marks, even rough patches of skin. It also helps dissolve buildup inside pores instead of sealing them shut like heavier synthetic creams often do. Effect 9, we get to immunity. Your thymus gland sits behind the breastbone. It helps train immune cells early in life. But as humans age, the thymus gradually shrinks. And traditional medicine systems have long focused castor oil packs around the chest and lymphatic areas during periods of illness or exhaustion. Why? Because immune function is deeply connected to circulation and inflammation. People often report feeling less run down, recovering faster, or getting sick less often after consistent use. Not because castor oil is a miracle cure, but because the body works better when inflammation and stagnation are reduced. And finally 10, the eyes. Dry eyes are not always caused by lack of tears. Sometimes the tears evaporate too fast, because the oil layer protecting them is damaged. Tiny glands in the eyelids produce that protective lipid layer. When those glands clog, the eyes start feeling gritty, irritated, burning by morning. Carefully applying castor oil around the eyelids, not inside the eyes, may help support the tear film and reduce dryness overnight. And now, we reach the dangerous part of this story. Because the castor oil industry has a filthy secret, many manufacturers use a solvent called hexane during processing. Hexane is derived from petroleum refining and a neurotoxin. It extracts oil cheaply and efficiently, but residues can remain behind. And if you apply contaminated oil to your skin every night, your body absorbs those compounds directly through the skin barrier. That is not detox, that is exposure. And it gets worse. Castor oil is incredibly good at dissolving chemicals from plastic. If it sits in cheap plastic bottles, it can pull compounds like BPA and phthalates into the oil itself. These chemicals are endocrine disruptors, meaning they interfere with hormones, especially estrogen pathways. So, if you rub low-quality castor oil over your thyroid, abdomen, ovaries, or liver every night, you may be introducing the exact chemical stress your body is trying to eliminate. This is why quality matters. Hexane-free, cold-pressed, glass bottle only, no exceptions. Because the modern world already overloads the body with synthetic chemicals every single day. Your body is not weak, it is overloaded. And maybe that is the real lesson here. Most people attack symptoms one by one. A pill for sleep, a cream for pain, a laxative for digestion, another product for skin. But the body is not separate compartments. It is one connected ecosystem. And sometimes healing starts by helping the systems of drainage, circulation, repair, and recovery finally work again. Tonight your body will begin its night shift again. The question is whether you help it or keep blocking it. Comment below if you've ever tried castor oil before bed and what happened when you did.